There is a high chance that you are making mistakes in your Google Ads approach right now. In this video, I'm going to explain you the 3 key mistakes that I've seen people making all over the time when it comes down to a successful or a bad Google Ads strategy. My name is Robin. I've been active in the e-commerce industry since early 2019, whereas I also run a Google Ads agency where we successfully have more than 40 Google Ads clients right now. I see the same mistakes over and over again when it comes down to a profitable approach for Google advertising, and therefore I wanted to make this video to clarify if you're on the right path or the wrong path if you recognize any of this kind of mistakes. Without further ado, let's dive into the first mistake. The first mistake is actually listening to the Google rep that is reaching out to you throughout the email. In every single Google Ads account that we take over, we see the email communication proactively happening from Google representative to help you actually successfully build a Google Ads campaign and successfully scale you better on Google Ads with more profit. Or at least that's what they claim to do. In the meantime, most of these people are actually sales representative because Google cares about making money, right? And that's a fair point. But they send sales representative to you that basically have a checklist on the second screen. So on the first screen, they have your account and your Google Ads account. And the second screen, they have the sales checklist. And once they go over the sales checklist, they get bonuses no matter which one you implement. So therefore, it's very important to know that you are not speaking with in-field experienced people that are actually has driven results for themselves. No, you're speaking with a sales employee that has a checklist that they need to sell you in order to get bonuses for themselves. So what they say is sometimes valuable and sometimes a waste of time, money and energy, because you are going to implement it. You're going to most likely spend more on ads and not necessarily drive better results. So that's one key mistake what I see over and over again. I would say maybe 5% of all the sales employees have actually a real life Google Ads knowledge and expertise, so they most likely can help you. But 95% of all the time we speak with someone like that, they are actually following the checklist what we recommend from the recommendations as well. So therefore it's not really interesting because you're gonna spend more, but that doesn't mean necessarily that you drive more results in terms of revenue and profit. Mistake number 2, what I see that many of the Google Ads advertisers are making right now is figuring it all out by themselves. They literally start from zero knowledge. They just follow the random procedures that Google is applying to make your first campaigns when it comes down to creating your account. They just lean back and wait for the profit to come. But figuring it all out in terms of Google advertising is not necessarily how you can make the best out of it, right? Google is a very smart platform and is very overwhelming the first few times when you log into the dashboard. So it's easy for Google to trick you into a certain position where you are new in the game and you don't know exactly what you're doing, to follow their recommended steps in order to get money from you and not necessarily promise any results, right? So figuring it all out for yourself is quite a difficult position to be in when it comes down to profitable Google advertising, because yes, Google is an amazing platform, but they also know very well how they can get most money out of you, right? So you always need to invest into the testing phase and potentially lose a bit of money to make profit. But in order to successfully test the e-commerce products you are selling, you need to have the right campaign structure, you need to have the tracking in place, you need to have the merchant center in place. There are many variables that they don't really explain. So there is a high relevancy that you make any mistakes in this process that are going to cost you time, money and energy, right? So figuring it all out by yourself is a very tough one. I always recommend to start off with an agency and then learn about it and potentially take over yourself, or you start with an agency that's managing your ads for the long term. But I would never recommend for an overwhelming platform like Google to try to figure it all out for yourself, especially if you are a busy e-commerce entrepreneur that is responsible for the whole chain of your e-commerce business, so the front end, the back end and other things. It's very important to tackle this thing and also make sure that you don't need to figure out everything yourself and that you start with a winning strategy right from the get-go. Mistake number 3, what I see happening all the time, is listening to the recommendations in your Google Ads account. It can either be automatic applied, what Google sneakily integrated in your account, or when you turn them off, you apply them for yourself. As I explained before, they like to make money and they don't necessarily take responsibility to generate results like this. So they always learn from the mistakes other people are doing and give them recommendations how you can spend more money, what is proven to work for Google, to earn more money. So listening to the recommendations either on automatic pilot or applying yourself is not necessarily the best way to generate more profit. It's the easiest way how Google can convince you to spend more. So by knowing this, you need to check the recommendations and clarify with an expert or from your own experience, like if it even makes sense to follow these recommendations or not at all. Because most of the time these recommendations can be a complete waste of your budget because they are proven to work to earn more money for Google, but not necessarily for you in terms of revenue and profit. If any of these mistakes sounds familiar to you, make sure to click the link in the description where I go over more into detail to them and also how you can overcome them and switch them to a profitable Google Ads marketing strategy. And if you have successfully checked that full checklist, make sure to watch the recommendation video after this, how I show you how to successfully launch a Google Shopping campaign that has proven to work for more than 100 of our clients in total and proven to make profit as well, following our campaign structure from real first-hand experience. Without further ado, thank you for watching this video. My name is Robin and I see you in the next one.